Well, hello, you. How are you? What's up with you? You? You ready? There's a puppy. There's a puppy. There's my bear. You want to get bear kisses? Bear kisses? Oh, I love more bear kisses. You're the best bear ever. And there's my lion dog right there. There's my lion dog right there. Hello, handsome lion. Hello, handsome lion. He doesn't like being on camera. There's the ham. Simba's the quiet, handsome boy. He's a good boy, though. He's a special boy. They're my beautiful boys. All right, so, hey, hope you're having a good day so far. So, a little bit more of a productive day today. Where's the thing? Let's put the backdrop. Okay, here we go. Where's the backdrop? Okay, there's me. Hello, me. Where it is. Sort of, no, it's the door to the bathroom. Okay, so a little more of a productive day today, but before we get into that, let's talk about a little bit of history. Okay, so a number of notable figures have been born on this day in history, and we'll talk about those right now. I'm not going to mention all of them. I'm going to name 4, as a matter of fact. So the 4 I'm going to mention, we're going to start back in 1807, when Robert E. Lee was born, who many people will know was if you know anything about American history, was the commander of the Confederate Army under Jefferson Davis, the Confederate President Jefferson Davis. What people don't know is that Robert E. Lee actually came to that position later because someone else was in it, and they were defeated, and so Robert E. Lee was pushed up to become the general of the Confederate Army. After he lost in the Gettysburg area, they surrendered. He went on to live a more of a quiet life, or a less acknowledgeable life as the president of a university. Believe it or not, he actually took Washington College, and and it was in Virginia, I believe, and he actually helped to increase the attendance for students there. So they were a couple of dozen, they said, and then he was able to get it up to around 300. So he increased the attendance of students and the what's the word? I don't know if the word recruiting is correct, but he was able to increase the number of students at the school multifold over the course of his time there, and was involved in hiring good staff, and apparently really played a huge part in improving the school's success into the late 1860s. In 1870, he suffered a stroke at the age of 63 and never recovered from it, and died a couple of weeks later, from what I understand. The next one who is notable is one who everybody should know. Hark the Raven Nevermore. I think is that the line? Hark the Raven Nevermore. He's also the one of the Telltale Heart, which is a really famous poem. Or Telltale Heart is the Raven. I've read Edgar Allan Poe in a while. So Edgar Allan Poe was born. He has a very kind of tragic life and mysterious death, believe it or not. So Edgar Allan Poe was born on this day, January 19th, 1809. If you don't know who Edgar Allan Poe is, just go look up Edgar Allan Poe for poetry, a number of short stories that he's written. A very well-known poet, I think that they would. It says writer, but I mean, he's done. I think he would probably be most notable for poetry. But go look him up. He's obviously very well known. But he's definitely worth a read. But he's sort of a darker writer. Not all of his stuff is dark, but a lot of it is dark. So check it out. He was really into mystery and the whole thing. But as mysterious and kind of suspenseful as his material was in a lot of ways, so was his death. So he died only at the age of 40. He was not that far from 41. He died in October of 1849. I think it was October 7th. But his death is still kind of a mystery. They say, some people say, there's some little conspiracies out there that say he was murdered, some that say he died of carbon monoxide poisoning. The jury is out, I guess. A lot of that has to do with how much they were able to determine COD back then. But he did pass away at only 40 years old. So now we'll jump to 1943, where two notable people in history were born who would be the exact same age if one of them was still alive. So in 1943, January 16th, or January 19th, 16th, what am I talking about? January 19th, 1943, Dolly Parton, very well known for many things, Coat of Many Colors, the original, I think she was the one who originally wrote I Will Always Love You. And this is why I never had a career as a singer. Actor, not singer. Okay, so he, hi Bear. Hi. Hi Lion. Hi Lion. Hi Bear. Hi Bear. Happy Bear. Happy Bear. Okay, so Dolly Parton was born 1943, and Janis Joplin, also born 1943. Now, Janis Joplin died significantly younger. There's Lion. Hello, Lion. So Janis Joplin passed away in 1970, and she was almost 28, but I think she passed away in October too. But she passed away, I can't remember what day, I think it was in October though. But she passed away of a heroin overdose at the age of 27. So she was very big in the beginning of that movement, of the hippie sort of movement as an artist. I mean, just go ask your G device or your A device or your S device, meaning to tell you stuff about to play music by Janis Joplin and Dolly Parton, and you'll hear a lot of music from Janis Joplin. She didn't have as wide a variety of or as large a catalog, rather I should say, of music as Dolly Parton, because obviously Dolly is still with us. Blessed be. As a matter of fact, this year Dolly Parton will be 80 years old. 80 years old. It's hard to believe that Dolly Parton is going to be 80 years, actually is 80 years old today. 80 years old today. So Janis would have been here as well, at the same age, except for her passing. So, but it says something about the impact of her music and her life and what happened and the part she played in that movement back in the day, because we're still talking about her, effectively threefold after her death. She died at 27, she would have been 80, but we've been talking about her she's still been in the consciousness of the American sort of hippie movement, if you want to call it, for the better part of 53 years now. So she's been around for a long time and will most likely never go away completely. She was one of those pioneer people in that industry, or that particular area of music per se. And of course, Dolly Parton is very well known. We all know what she's done. A lot of her music. She has Dollywood. She's very well known for some of the greatest love songs of all time. Of course, I Will Always Love You, I mentioned. Also for Islands in the Stream with Kenny Rogers, who passed away not that long, a few years back as well. Also, she's very well known for her spiritual beliefs, with things like, Coat of Many Colors, and I can't think of anything else off the top of my head right now, but she's done a lot of, faith-based songs and things like that, just sort of exercising her belief system. Coat of Many Colors is not necessarily about a religious perspective, but it's kind of a reference to the Coat of Many Colors, if you have ever heard that story before. Anyways, So those are some things. One more thing that's a notable thing in history. On this day in 1955, Dwight D. Eisenhower, President Dwight D. Eisenhower, held the first live presidential press conference. So what is that now? 40, 26, 70, so 78 years ago. Is that right? Well, no, it couldn't have been 78 years ago. 40, no, 68 years ago. The first live presidential press conference was held by President Dwight D. Eisenhower. Okay, so now let's move on to today and what I've gotten accomplished. So today I have gotten several things accomplished. When it comes to packing, I've been organizing some more of Marie's stuff, some more of my stuff, breaking down some more shelves. So I have moved forward with some of those items, which is really good. I'm feeling happy about the goals I've accomplished with those so far today. Had to deal with some things with my business today, with BET, my BET business, because we have some problems with some machines, or actually specifically a machine that is broken in one of our locations. I don't want to get into locations because it's, related to, government, state government stuff, and got to keep that kind of on the DL. Makes me sound really important, but it's not. It just means I don't want to talk about stuff like that because of, security purposes and whatnot. But one of the machines that was broken in one of our locations, they're just going to pick it up. So was talking to what's called a BC, one of our BCs who represents the area where my business is at. And they're going to pick up the machine next week. And that's good because it's been sitting there. It was actually, the glass was broken in it. That was part of the reason it has to be removed, because the glass was broken in it. The machine is also 20-something years old. They don't even manufacture this type of machine anymore. It's called a GPL 160. And those machines are not even manufactured anymore, which means that you can't repair it because nobody's making the parts for it. So gonna get rid of that. We stripped it for parts, and we'll just use it for what we can, because we have a lot of old machines in the prison, that I service. So there's that. Also, another interesting little thing that happened today was I got a call from someone who is actually at a place called CCRC, which stands for Chris Cole Rehabilitation Center. Back in 2009, when I was doing my initial training for BET, who, respect this person's privacy as well, but we were both there at the same time. The person's name was, last name was Garza. We'll just call it last name Garza. And they actually work now in the California Department of Rehabilitation. And they are, and one of the clients I was working with as an ATI instructor, while I was doing some contract work for a center. It's just not really a mystery or anything. It's on one of my other channels. A place called CCBVI. I was doing some contract work for them, and when I just chose to walk away from that particular circumstance, one of the clients I was working with was no longer going to have a trainer anymore, and apparently they've been dissatisfied with the opportunities or the potential of trainers that they have, or the lack of trainers they do not have. And so what I found out was, what I got a call about today was just seeing if I was interested in potentially applying to become a vendor for the DOR in California, which is actually something I want to do, because what I really want to do is either do private instruction with consumers who are needing accessibility training, or I want to become a contractor vendor for these agencies in different parts of the country, so that I can work for them and provide training to consumers that are looking for that kind of support, who can't find it otherwise. So there's the private side, and then there's the the state side. Usually if I'm on the state side, my rate's a little bit different than if I'm doing private, because I know that in private I cannot expect consumers to pay as much as the state will pay. And I know that that's, may sound a little capitalistic, and that's fine. I'm not really, worried about whether I'm seen as a capitalist or not. But it's just that their resources are more to pay people, and also part of the reason they pay people more as contractors is because it's infrequent. You may have 10 hours with one client, or you may have 20 hours with another. It just depends on what you're educating them on, the process of training, the amount of time it takes to train them, things like that. So the rate's going to be different because you're working on a certain number of hours. Whereas if I have a private client and I'm not charging them as much, then they potentially can afford to take more lessons than they could if they were paying the same rate as like the state pays, a state DOR pays, or Department of Rehabilitation is basically what we're talking about, vocab rehabilitation. So that's good. It's a potential. I mean, it's nothing, it wasn't like the big thing is just that the client was kind enough to say, is there any way I can continue to train with Kingsley? And that was a huge compliment. And I want to respect this client's privacy, but I really do appreciate that they asked the question, which at least started the process of someone reaching out to me and saying, are you interested in becoming a vendor? And then that process can potentially start, and I can apply for a vendor and hopefully work with clients. And I'd love to work with clients across the United States. I've already worked with some people in other parts of the country, and I really enjoy that, and would love to continue to work with people in different parts of the country. Whatever we can do to service people and increase people's capability to pursue their passions, and to become empowered so they can get back into the workforce, and they don't have to be limited with these lighthouses and things like that. At some point we will talk about BEP, which is what normally the Randolph-Shepard Act-based programs like BET, they're usually called BEPs. Texas just chose, because it wants to be different, BET, Business Enterprises of Texas. It's normally just called BEP, Business Enterprises Program. Anyways, so that is kind of a gist of the day. Nice things got done. Did I drink water? Nope. You remember yesterday I told you that if I wanted to catch up now, I would have to do an extra 32 ounces, 192 ounces. This is also talking about making sure you commit to things and get them done every day. So I said yesterday that, let's see, 16, so four times, 18, I was going to catch up to 160 ounces, which is basically 1 gallon and 1 quart. So that's 5 times 18 is, I think I said 90, right? So now add another one, so it's 95. So now, for the next 95, yesterday it was just 90. Today it's 95 days now in a row that I would have to add 32 ounces of water to my daily consumption to catch up from not doing it. So I didn't not do this to give you an example. I did this to say, look, this is how quickly these things spiral out, and you lose control, and eventually you become discouraged and you just don't do it. So yes, still have not started to really move that goal. Got to get it done. Got to get started. I've got some stuff in the way of my water container, and I really shouldn't use that as an excuse, but that's the excuse I'm going to use right now. My water dispenser. But I need to get that cleaned out tonight anyway. So starting water tomorrow. That's a goal. I'm talking to you, that guy in the camera right there. What is it with you? You need to shave, dude. You're like, hairy, and your hair is darker, and your beard looks like you're, I don't know, looks like you're Charlie Manson or something. It's really creepy. So shave, because you don't look good with the beard right now. You look like you're, old man. I don't know what the hell you are. What old man something or other. All right, take care of yourselves. Get good things done every day. God bless. Be safe. Tell your family you love them. Hug the people you care about. Be nice to other people. Respect other people. Remember, you don't have to live their lives for them, and you don't have to agree with their lifestyle. You just have to, live your own, follow your own road, and not so worry about other people so much, and don't worry about people needing to know how you live. Just live your life, do your own thing. You shouldn't want to be a spectacle for people. That's someone who needs to be like has really low self-confidence. I mean, look at these videos. I've got like two views on one video. I don't care. I mean, there's other things I want to bring attention to, but it's not about me. This is, like I said, a video log for myself, and it will be up here so my family can, watch it. If anyone watches it and gets benefit from it, great. But you don't need to get attention and like notoriety and fame and any of that jazz. That doesn't define who you are as a person. That's like whipped cream on your life, right? It's not like the ice cream of your life. The ice cream of your life is the experience, the sweetness, the joy that you find every day, the happiness, the things that keep you moving and keep you motivated. Whipped cream is all the other stuff. Making good money, getting exposure, the opportunity to reach more people. That's all like icing. It's like icing or whipped cream. You don't put icing on ice cream, I guess, unless you're insane, but maybe you do. Maybe that's a thing I don't know about. All right. God bless. God bless. Take care of yourselves. Have a beautiful day, and I will see you. I see you guy. I'm retarded or retardant, one of the two. Take care. See ya.